Assalamu alaikum, hello and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to start out by asking you guys a quick question. Have you guys ever wanted something so bad? You pray about it and that prayer has been answered, but it has been answered in such a way that it just shocks you, that it surprises you, and it's just, you find it very strange and you can't seem to wrap that around your head. Like that's what happened to me in 2009, and I want to take the time and share this story with you guys in hopes that hopefully it inspire, hopefully it shocks you guys just the way that it shocked me. And so please take the time to grab your tea, grab your water, or whatever else you want to drink, relax, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And let's get started. So, question is, what happened in 2009? What is it that shocked me, right? To this day, like I am like in a state of shock. Whenever I think about it, I'm like, how did this happen? So, let me start out by saying, in 2009, fall of 2009, I decided to go back to college. I took a year off because I had somebody in my family that passed away, and I wanted to do some research as to, what is the purpose of life. I wanted to get closer to God, and I decided to take a whole year course, which talked about the Quran and all that. So once I was done with that, I said, okay, now it's time for me to go back to school. And when I went back, I had a plan that within a year I wanted to transfer to university. And I went up to my counselor and I asked him, what is it that I need to do in order for me to transfer to this specific university, within a year? What do I need to do, right? He said, what you need to do is you need to take these courses, right? You have to take 18 units in one semester, and a semester is about 14 weeks, right? So there's 2 semesters in a year. So this one semester, you have to take 18 units, which is, I think, equivalent to 5 classes, 5 or 6 classes. And the next semester, you have to take 20 units. There was no way, like, how do I do that, right? How can I take all those courses? I can't. It's just so overwhelming, but I wanted to challenge myself, especially since, I don't want to spend a lot of time in school, and I'm like, let me just challenge myself and see if I can do it. Maybe I'll surprise myself, whatever. I might not have a lot of free time. It's okay. It's only going to take a year, and hopefully I'll transfer and I'm accepted to that school that I wanted to go to. But there was a huge problem. Come to find out that there is a budget cut, which meant that a lot of the classes that I need was not being offered, all of it in one semester. Some classes were offered one semester, and another classes were offered in another semester. So, which meant that there was no way that I could transfer within a year. What made things a lot worse was the courses that were available was already packed. By the time it was my turn to register the course, it was packed. There was no way I could enter. And especially I wanted to take biology. And a side note, I can't stand science, by the way, but I needed to take biology in order for me to transfer. One science class I had to take. And the problem was, like I said, it was packed. I had to go on a waiting list, and I had to show up the first day of class, obviously, and with the hope that somebody will drop, right? That was the goal. I showed up in class that first day, and to my surprise, the waiting list was so long the people who were already registered in class were 40 people. And I'm like, there's no way I can be accepted, in this class. There's no way. There's so many people who are, willing to take this class, and so I was like, became very sad. Like, I don't think that I can really, there's no way I could take this class now. But what I did was, I decided to pray about it at that moment. I'm like, you know what? Anything is possible with Allah. Just pray. And I remember I just kept praying, like, Ya Allah, please let me be accepted in this class. I really need it. And I kept like asking him again and again and again and again. And this is where things get a little bit strange. The teacher so there was two lists. One was the people who were already registered in class, that they're not crashing, they're already in there. And there is another list, which, is people who are on the waiting list, hoping that somebody from the register list drops, right? Excuse me. So she hasn't even gone on to the waiting list yet, right? She's still calling people from the register list. And she called my name. I was in a state of shock. I thought, like, I literally immediately took a pen and I wrote down, Ya Allah, did you hear my name? And of course, Allah is all hearing, right? All knowing. But it was a reaction that I did. I couldn't believe it because I thought I wanted this so bad. And, and when I heard my name, I thought I'm the one who, that it was all in my head, that it didn't actually happen, right? So I was like, what is going on? Did I just heard my name? When the teacher was done calling people and it was time for us to, to leave, and it was the end of the, hour, there was another person, a Muslim sister. There was only two of us that were Muslim there. And the sister was also Somali. And I went up to her and I said, I introduced myself and I said, sister, I'm shocked. I think I heard my name. Did you heard my name? Right? And I told her my name. I was like, did you heard my name? Please tell me you heard my name. Right? She was like, yeah, I heard your name. I was like, okay, so I know now I'm not going crazy and it's not all in my head. Let me go up to the teacher. I went up to the teacher and I asked her the same question. I'm like, did you called my name? And she asked my name. She went back to the list and she said, yes, your name is this. It's there. And she showed me the list and I actually saw my name on the list. I looked at her and I was shocked and I was like, okay. You called me from this list, but it's not showing on my schedule, right? It's supposed to show on your schedule. And I said I went on to the computer, I logged in, and it's just not showing. And she said, that's weird. Why don't you go to the admin office, and maybe there's something going on with the system, and maybe they can figure out for you. I said, no problem. I went up to one of the ladies at the admin office, administration office, and I explained to her what was happening, that the teacher called me from the register list, but it's not showing on the system, on my schedule, and I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. So she asked for my information, went on to my schedule, and she said, honey, you're not on the register list. You're on the waiting list. Of course, I knew that. But I was hoping she explains to me that, what's going on, right? So the following day, I went back to the biology class, and the first thing the teacher does, she calls people who are already registered, If there's anybody who drops the course that day, then she adds somebody from the waiting list. And again, she was calling the names of people on the register, and I heard my name again. I'm like, okay, something is really going on. I don't understand what's going on. I went up to the teacher, explained the situation to her, that I went to the administration office, and she said, you know what, no problem. Here's an ad code. And what that does is, if the class is already full and you can't register, the only way to register is if the teacher gives you an ad code. I got an ad code. I'm happy. I'm like, Alhamdulillah, praise be to God. I can't believe this is happening. I took the ad code and I registered the class. I was done. I was happy. I was not worried. Alhamdulillah. And I completely forgot about like the whole situation. I'm like, all I wanted was to be registered in that class, and I got it. I'm good. Yes. 2 weeks later, again, people are still coming. People who are on the waiting list are still coming in hopes that somebody drops within that 2-week mark. If nobody drops in 2 weeks, then that's it. You know, they have to take this class in another semester, or yeah. So in that 2-week mark, the teacher started to call some people from the waiting list. She happened to call my name, and I was weirded out. I was like, okay, what's going on? I was talking to a friend of mine, right? And she comes up to me. She said, you know, here's an ad code. I looked at her like startled. I'm like, teacher, you already gave me an ad code, right? She looked at it. She's like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I'm already registered 2 weeks ago. She looked at me in a state of shock, and I'm confused because I'm thinking like, I mean, I guess I understand why maybe she didn't remember my name or anything, because there's 40 people in the class. You know what I mean? She can't remember everybody's name, but still, like, I thought I don't know why she didn't remember my name or anything, but she just, it was just weird. I can't explain it. Like, I'm just still in a state of shock. She just comes up to me, gives me the ad code, and I'm like, I'm already registered. And she kind of looked at me all like shocked and surprised and confused, and she was like, just kind of walked away. And I'm like, yeah, I'm confused as well. I don't know what's going on. So, but the story does not end there. It's already been 13 minutes. The story does not end there, you guys. Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to continue. The story does not end there. Do you remember how I told you guys that I wanted to transfer within a year, right? There was no way I could transfer within a year because I can't take that courses, because a lot of courses are not being offered, which meant that I had to stay in the community college for, I don't know, another year, 2 years or something. I happened to transfer to the university that I wanted to, and it took me a semester. Not a full year, not 2 years. It took me a semester. And I'll explain to you guys in the next video, because I feel like it's already long. And I know that our short, we have, short attention span. So please join me again in the next video. I'll let you guys know what exactly happened and why did I enter in my university in 1 semester when it should take me much longer than that. So please stay tuned for that. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing so that you can be alerted with the new videos that I post on YouTube, inshallah. And assalamu alaikum. I'll see you guys next time.